Ready for you to beat the shit out of me. I'm ready for you to teach me a lesson. Gorilla.
Chosen to take part in the Swearing At Motorists portion of the Fading Trails Festival, and I thank you for that. I could tell just one look in your eye that you had become someone else's prize and not of mine. I don't know why.
Originally the album was going to be called On the Vanity of Existence because I've been reading entirely too much Schopenhauer the last few years. And then I figured maybe that's a little bit too deep, maybe it's a little too, maybe it might come off as pretentious. And then, while Laughing the Joker Tells the Truth is actually a title I've been wanting to use for years. Our very first tour manager when we came to Europe in 2000, her name is Grinsven, she's from Belgium. She was using that to describe me on stage because the songs, the subject matter tend to be a bit deep at times, or or at least maybe not so deep, but very emotional. And my survival technique is to kind of laugh it off in between. And sometimes within the lyrics too, sometimes within the songs, I'm also making little jokes and little turns of phrases to try to lighten the mood, to try to not be so serious. If any, this album definitely deserves that title because there are so many instances where I'm trying to laugh myself through the stark reality, that I'm living.
Well, I can't go back, I know that now. But who said I wanted to?
I played like hardcore sort of noise stuff. I was like a child then, basically. I was 17, 18 years old. The end of that band coincided with me starting to understand that if I wanted to sort of be able to participate in the fuller emotional range of music, that sort of genre probably wasn't going to work for me. At the same time, I was wanting to do something that felt a little dangerous, and coming out of the punk rock and hardcore world, at that time the most dangerous thing I could do was start to think about what my relationship to traditional music might be, or country and western music. On one hand, I love that stuff, and on another hand, it was an intentional thing for me.
Oh, I can feel how you want the rings they bear. Do you think it's up to me?
My father was a guitarist, banjo player, accordion player, and he toured a lot in the 70s in Europe mostly. Him and my mother ran a booking agency in Germany for a lot of kind of Scottish and Irish and English folk acts at the time. They were really popular in Germany and probably in the Netherlands as well.
As I roved out one Shrove-tide eve, hung among the bramble and the cloudberry.
So I still got all those old records in the house from that period, like kind of Scottish and English and Irish and European sort of folk rock, you know. But then I was also growing up in the 80s, so I was watching Top of the Pops and listening to Culture Club and, you know, Erasure and this like 80s pop music, so you can't deny that sort of influence as well.
Monat! Steffan! Peterson! Monat! Steffan! Peterson! Life can be hard for a blade of grass.
He doesn't play as much as he used to, but when we were like growing up and stuff, we'd always go to his shows, and I don't know, it had a weird effect on us, you know? It's helped us like build. I mean, he was showing us music in kindergarten that like people find after high school, you know?
I don't even know if I would have played drums if drum sets weren't around the house, like, or in the garage and stuff. Like, who knows what I would have done. They were just there, and I ended up teaching myself how to play. I think the first show was a backyard party with the band DI and Shattered Faith.
It was overwhelming for us as kids, you know, to go there with like just our dad and
Just a bunch of people surrounded.
It was cool
by-
though. I mean,
Surrounding an empty pool, and then people just like,
yeah, people would, instead of like a pit, you know, like people in the pit, there people would just be skateboarding in the pool and stuff, you know.
I was really like intimidated by this one guy who went down the slide on his skateboard because there was a slide at the top of the pool, and he dropped all the way down to the bottom from the slide on his skateboard, and he ate shit. Just a compilation of different songs we've put out, and it's called Animatronic Figure in the Distance, and Big Love Records in Japan just put it out. The deep roots of it was Burger Records, because Burger Records, when you make a tape or do something on Burger Records, they usually send it off to different places. One of the places they sent it off to was Big Love, I believe, and I don't remember how we ended up first releasing something, because we have released another record with them. I think I just asked. Justin Raisin was throwing a barbecue, like a housewarming
And
barbecue.
Justin Raisin is the producer of Sky Ferreira and Charlie XCX.
Yeah, so Justin was throwing a barbecue. I showed up, and he introduced me to Ariel. And then we started talking to Justin more, you know, about recording. At first it was kind of like a joke, but then we started like actually talking about it more, and it actually started to become something like that was actually going to happen. So we had a meeting, you know, just a casual meeting, pizza meeting, and
Yeah, we all went out for pizza and then like kind of made a game plan, you know? And then from there, we talked about getting into the studio, and then we started, and it took 4 days, and then we were done, yeah.
The ambrosial table is groaning in the hall of the Laird and his dean.
Started playing music when I was like 17 or 18. I was kind of like the oddball in the city because everyone else was kind of into this, you know, sort of like post-punk scene, and I was like the folky oddball, you know, in a way, and it took a while for, like I felt a bit sort of out of place in a way in the kind of Glasgow scene at the time in like the mid-90s. Most people would be kind of disparaging towards like this idea of traditional music or folk music and this sort of like punk, like DIY scene that was happening.
Singing word to the rain of the bees.
Well, I've been hearing Alasdair's records since Appendix Out. I really appreciate people that can take traditional or vernacular music and make something that feels fresh out of it. It's kind of a hard thing to do. I like to keep one foot outside of that world because there are people that are very militant about what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm not really interested, like the sort of rules or boundaries.
Why not do whatever you want, you know? We don't have to be punk, we don't have to be something, you know?
We don't need them, and we don't need them. We don't need them, and we don't need them.
I like the fact that you mentioned that we also do hip-hop songs and electronic songs because, like, a lot of people don't like to think that we do that, you know? A lot of our fans don't like that side of us, you know? But I don't know.
Some do.
Some do, some don't, you know? It's like, it's on and off, you know? So, I mean, yeah, that's just another side of us, you know? I mean, I guess I tried to fit in like in junior high school and stuff, and it never really worked out that well, you know?
I tried to pick the groups of friends and it never really worked out. Everyone was kind of just like dicks to us for the most part. I mean, nobody really liked.
I think we're really nice guys, and we don't, like, people sometimes don't think that we're gonna be nice right off the bat, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, like, but like, we always have each other.
We
you know?
tried other groups, didn't work out, so we just made our own group. That's how it went.
Martin became the drummer in Swearing at Motorist because I was seeing a St. Pauli match, and on the way back from the match, I heard a voice over my shoulder saying, "Hey, you're the singer from Swearing at Motorist." And I went, "Hey, you're my favorite person in Hamburg. How do you know that?" And he's like, "Because I booked you at Astorstube in 2004 and did sound for you." And he said, "Do you have a drummer?" I said, "Yeah, actually, I have been playing with this guy, Till. But I'm playing a solo show this Friday. Why don't you come? I'll put you on the list." And so he came that Friday. At some point after my set, he came up to me. He's like, "That was amazing. You were so great. It was inspiring. You playing with Till, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'll be right back." And he disappears. I'm like, "Okay, cool." He comes back 5 minutes later. He's like, "All right, you've been traded. You're not playing with Till anymore. You're playing with me. Just come by the shop on Monday and we'll talk about it." I'm like, okay. And I was just thinking, like, for the whole weekend, I was like, "Oh my God, this guy fired my drummer. Like, I hope he's good, you know?" But I was stoked because the enthusiasm, like, okay, this guy is touched enough by the music that he wants to be a part of it enough that he'll fire the other guy. I gotta give it a shot. So Tuesday rolled around and we had rehearsal and it was brilliant. And so here it is, 4 years later.
I'm not afraid. Yeah, you will be the last one to walk in chains, but hey, it's too late.
I feel like now, at this point in my life, what I'm interested in is just like being confident about what I'm doing, sort of like musically confident and competent, but also emotionally confident, because a lot of the stuff for Alasdair and me that we write, like, we're gonna have to sing these songs in front of people many nights in a row. So I have to be coming up with material that is gonna be emotionally resilient enough to be sung to strangers every night, basically. It's very personal music that I'm singing. But the language has to be such that I am excited to play it in front of a room full of strangers every night.